Hi again then guys, and so we've got another Gran Turismo 6 drag spec tune for you today, and this time it's for a seriously quick but oddly underappreciated car, the Nismo 400R, which is of course based on the R33 Skyline, but isn't quite as powerful as the premium model Nissan version. But you want your racing soft tyres as always. For suspension, we've increased the ride height to 110 front and rear. Brakes, we've got 6 on the front, 4 on the back. For springs, we've tightened up the front to 10, lowered the back to 850. For the dampers, we've got 4 on the front, 1 on the back, and for extension, 4 on both. Anti-roll as high as possible to keep it straight and true. Camber and 2 neutral as always to get as much tyre contact to the road as possible. Then for the gearbox, you want to put your auto setting all the way up to 273. Then come down to your final drive and set it to 5. Then come back to your auto setting, click it down and then up a peg back to 273. Then you'll be able to achieve these gears here of 2680, 1800, 1290, 990, 750 and 525 with a final drive of 4.5. For the diff, you want the highest initial torque for that explosive launch off the line, high acceleration and low braking. We've got a torque split of 40-60 on this one. You want all your power upgrades, of course, and you want to make sure you give it the mid-range RPM turbo. We will be using NOS on this run, as with all of my drag tunes. You cannot adjust the rear downforce. I can't remember if you can take the wing off or not. I don't think you can. And obviously, you want weight loss. Traction control is, of course, turned off. If you do use traction control, don't. Turn it off. And for this tune, I would strongly recommend using a manual gearbox. Most of my drag tunes can be used easily with an auto box, but this one really does require a manual to get the best out of it. And the particular way that you want to use your manual gearbox in this car is when you pull off the line, obviously with NOS, make sure that you change gear at 8,000 RPM every single time. Sometimes you may think that that's a short shift, but the amount of acceleration that that gives you is, for the power, almost untouchable. So when you launch off the line, red line it, then launch, and change through every gear as soon as you hit 8,000 revs. So as always, we're putting it up against a superior vehicle to see how it compares in a real drag situation. And we're putting it up against one of the quickest cars in the game, the Saleen S7, which has more power, less weight and a higher PP, a significantly higher top speed. Both cars are using racing softs and of course NOS. So let's see how they compare. So obviously off the line the all-wheel drive gives you an advantage, and as I said, top end the Saleen is a quicker machine, but over 800 metres, that's well over a quarter mile, it absolutely annihilates the Saleen S7. In the quarter mile, there's not that much, if anything, in this power bracket of 800 horsepower that can keep up with this Skyline. So the fact that it does have less power than the premium model Nissan R33 actually isn't really a bad thing. Obviously it would be nice if it did have more power, but the fact that it's this fast even with less power is pretty impressive. Now, as always, there are far too many specs to read out, but for the highlights, this particular car, as long as you shift, as I said, at around 8,000 RPM, hits 60 miles per hour in 1.3 seconds. It hits 100 in a frankly insane 2.9 seconds. It hits 200 miles per hour in just over 11 seconds, 250 miles per hour in 21 seconds. It does the quarter mile in 8 seconds dead. The standing mile in just over 20 seconds, and it will cover from a standing start 6,000 metres in less than 1 minute. So it is a seriously, seriously quick car for the power. It also doubles as a very good top speed tune, and there is actually, as you can see, some draft potential as well, although obviously you don't really use draft for drag racing, and as it happens it also handles pretty well, but obviously it's not handling tune, it's a drag tune. So for those of you guys who do use this tune, I hope you find it helpful. If you haven't bought this car, which many people seem to have not, I would strongly recommend you do so, because it's a seriously, seriously good car. So if you do use this tune, I hope you find it helpful and competitive, of course, and of course, as always, fun. And if you did find it helpful, feel free to subscribe. I put out new drag tunes every weekend, new top speed tunes every day, and other various tunes on different days of the week. And that's it for this build. So I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.